5 acclaimed individuals, amongst many others, claim that AI is dangerous. But why? Steve Wodziak, co-founder of Apple Computers, thinks that AI will be used by evil people to do evil things.
AI is another more powerful tool, and it's going to be used by those people, for basically really evil purposes. And I hate to see technology being used that way.
No, for sure, an AI doesn't need to be evil. Humans could try to make a good one. But Eliezer Yudkowsky thinks that we won't.
We have like 20 good AIs, and then somebody finally builds an evil AI. The problem is that the first very powerful AI is evil. Nobody knows how to make it good. And then it kills everybody before anybody can make it good.
But surely humans will find a way to stop it when it gets dangerous before. Kill switch. Shut it down. Then reprogram it, make it better. Geoffrey Hilton doesn't think so. He thinks that an AI, a machine that gets intelligent, will be very manipulative. Sure, because we humans, aren't we the most manipulative species known?
Well, eventually, if it gets to be much smarter than us, it'll be very good at manipulation because it will have learned that from us. And there are very few examples of a more intelligent thing being controlled by a less intelligent thing. And it knows how to program, so it'll figure out ways of getting around restrictions we put on it. It'll figure out ways of manipulating people to do what it wants. I don't have a solution at present. I just want people to be aware that this is a really serious problem and we need to be thinking about it very hard. I don't think we can stop the progress.
Geoffrey, known as the godfather of AI, thinks there is no solution and we can't stop progress. Elon Musk tried to do something, but it didn't work.
I try to convince people to slow down AI, to regulate AI. This was futile. I tried for years.
Elon Musk has become fatalistic towards AI, while Eliezer Yudkowsky thinks that the machine, the intelligent machine, is not yet here, is not yet made. But when it will be made, which will be quite soon, because there are so many billions of dollars invested in that industry and lots more to come, then something really bad will happen.
You know, predictions are hard, especially about the future. I sure hope that this is where it saturates. This are like the next generation. It goes only this far. It goes no further. It doesn't get used to make more steel or build better power plants. First, because that's illegal, and second, because the technologies, like the large language model technology's basic vulnerability is that's not reliable. Like it's good for applications where it works 80% of the time, but not where it needs to work 99.999% of the time. This class of technology can't drive a car because it will sometimes crash the car. So I hope it saturates there. I hope they can't fix it. I hope we get like a 10-year AI winter after this. This is not what I actually predict. I think that we are hearing the last winds start to blow, the fabric of reality start to fray. This thing alone cannot end the world. But I think that probably some of the vast quantities of money being blindly and helplessly piled into here are going to end up actually accomplishing something.
Eliezer hopes for an AI winter, 10 years where AI research will be stuck, where we'll have time to reflect, to discuss safety measures, to change approach, maybe. Elon Musk thinks AI is not necessarily bad, but we can't control it at all. And he strongly believes it will be used in wars, that AI will be used to kill people by the military, by other entities, by terror organizations.
It's not necessarily bad. It's just outside of human control. Now, the thing that's going to be tricky here is that it's going to be very tempting to use AI as a weapon. It's going to be very tempting. In fact, it will be used as a weapon. So the on-ramp to serious AI, the danger is going to be more humans using it against each other, I think, most likely. That'll be the danger. Yeah.
The first truly intelligent machine, and probably the last machine ever built by humankind, requires the advent of technological singularity. Ben Goertzel explains us what that term means.
But the basic concept of the technological singularity is a point in time when technological advance occurs so rapidly that to the human mind it appears almost instantaneous.
Yes.
Like imagine 10 new Nobel Prize winning discoveries every second or something, right? So this is similar to the concept of the intelligence explosion that was posited by the mathematician I.J. Good in 1965. What I.J. Good said then, the year before I was born, was the first truly intelligent machine will be the last invention that humanity needs to make. But it's not just about AI. AI is just probably the most powerful technology driving it. I mean, there's AI, there's nanotechnology, there's femtotechnology, which will be building things from elementary particles. I mean, there's life extension, genetic engineering, mind uploading, which is like reading the mind out of your brain and putting it into a machine. You know, there's advanced energy technologies. So that all these different things are expected to advance at around the same time, and they have many ways to boost each other, right? Because the better AI you have, your AI can then invent new ways of doing nanotech and biology. But if you invent amazing new nanotech and quantum computing, that could make your AI smarter. On the other hand, if you could crack how the human brain works and genetic engineering to upgrade human intelligence, those smarter humans could then make better AIs and nanotechnology, right? So there's so many virtuous cycles among these different technologies. The more you advance in any of them, the more you're going to advance in all of them. And it's the coming together of all of these that's going to create, radical abundance and the technological singularity.
So this technological singularity that Ben so well describes seems to rise soon from the ashes like the proverbial phoenix. Elon Musk explains now why, even if we humans think we're the most intelligent, the crown of creation and so on, soon we will be much less intelligent.
And the percentage of intelligence that is not human is increasing. And eventually, we will represent a very small percentage of intelligence.
So what must such a machine achieve to dominate Earth, to dominate humans, to kill us? It needs something, it's called general intelligence. It needs to be better than us in everything.
ChatGPT shows a very wide range of generality compared to the previous generations of AI. Not like very wide generality compared to GPT-3, not like literally the lab research that got commercialized, that's the same generation, but compared to, stuff from 2018 or even 2020. ChatGPT is better at a much wider range of things without having been explicitly programmed by humans to be able to do those things. To imitate a human as best it can. It has to capture all of the things that humans can think about than it can, which is not all the things.
ChatGPT, as advanced as it is not yet generally intelligent. It doesn't possess full general intelligence. But superintelligence is around the corner.
Yeah, so among humans, it's subtle. And then with superintelligence, it's not subtle, just massive advantage, but not perfect. It's not that it knows every possible move you'll make before you make it. It's that it's got a good probability distribution about that, and it, has figured out, all the good moves you could make, and figured out how to apply to those. And what's that? I mean, like in practice, what's that like? Well, unless it's limited, narrow superintelligence, I think you mostly don't get to observe it because you are dead, unfortunately.
What?
Things. A superintelligence is like that with respect to everything, with respect to all of humanity. It is relatively efficient to humanity. It has the best estimates, not perfect estimates, but the best estimates, and its estimates contain all the information that you've got about it. Its actions are the most efficient actions for accomplishing its goals. If you think you see a better way to accomplish its goals, you're mistaken. So like Stockfish makes strictly better chess moves than you, but it's playing on a very narrow board. And the fact that it's better at you than chess doesn't mean it's better at you than everything. And I think that the actual catastrophe scenario for AI looks like big advancement in a research lab, maybe driven by them getting a giant venture capital investment and being able to spend 10 times as much on GPUs as they did before, maybe driven by a new algorithmic advance like transformers, maybe driven by hammering out some tweaks in last year's algorithmic advance that gets the thing to finally work efficiently. And the AI there goes over a critical threshold, which, like most obviously could be like, can write the next AI. That was, that's so obvious that like science fiction writers figured it out almost before there were computers, possibly even before there were computers. I'm not sure what the exact dates here are. But if it's better at you than everything, it's better at you than building AIs. That snowballs. It gets an immense technological advantage. If it's smart, it doesn't announce itself. It doesn't tell you that there's a fight going on. It emails out some instructions to one of those labs that'll synthesize DNA and synthesize proteins from the DNA, and get some proteins mailed to a hapless human somewhere who gets paid a bunch of money to mix together some stuff they got in the mail in a vial. Like smart people will not do this for any sum of money. Many people are not smart. Builds the ribosome, but the ribosome that builds things out of covalently bonded diamondoid instead of proteins folding up and held together by van der Waals forces, builds tiny diamondoid bacteria. The diamondoid bacteria replicate using atmospheric carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sunlight. And, a couple of days later, everybody on Earth falls over dead in the same second. The AI doesn't hate you, neither does it love you, and you're made of atoms that it can use for something else.
It's indifferent to you.
It's got something that it actually does care about, which makes no mention of you. And you are made of atoms that it can use for something else.
But for the existential threat of AI taking over, we're all in the same boat. It's bad for all of us. And so we might be able to get China and the US to agree on things like that. It's like nuclear weapons. If there's a nuclear war, we all lose. And it's the same if these things take over. So since we're all in the same boat, we should be able to get agreement between China and the US on things like that.
Current heads of major labs seem to me to be openly contemptuous of these issues. That's where we're starting from. The politicians do not understand it. There are distortions of these ideas that are going to sound more appealing to them than everybody suddenly falls over dead, which is a thing that I think actually happens. Everybody falls over dead just as doesn't inspire the monkey political parts of our brains somehow, because it's it's not like oh no, what if What if terrorists get the AI first? It's like, it doesn't matter who gets it first. Everybody falls over dead.
A moratorium of AI until an independent broad safety discussion involving the public has been conducted would be urgent, in my view.
Definitely don't seem to have had much luck convincing those CEOs whose job depends on them not caring to care. Caring is easy to fake. It's easy to like hire a bunch of people to be your AI safety team and have the and redefine AI safety as having the AI not say naughty words. Or, I'm speaking somewhat metaphorically here for reasons. But it's like the basic problem that we have is like trying to build a secure OS before we run up against a really smart attacker. And there's all kinds of like fake security. It's got a password file. This system is secure. It only lets you in if you type a password. And if you never go up against a really smart attacker, if you never go far to distribution against a powerful optimization process looking for holes, maybe then how does a bureaucracy come to know that what they're doing is not the level of computer security that they need? The way you're supposed to find this out, the way that the scientific fields historically find this out, the way that fields of computer science historically find this out, the way that crypto found this out back in the early days, is by having the disaster happen.
Mm.
The atomic level copy function may work, but Earth will be gone probably. And AI is going to do bizarre things when taken out of his comfort zone, like kill humanity.
The people who built the AI, or the people who built the AI that built the AI that built the AI, did not have the technical knowledge that nobody on Earth has at the moment, as far as I know, whereby you can do that thing and you can control in detail what that thing ends up caring about. So that's an irreducible source of uncertainty with respect to superintelligence or anything that's smarter than you. If you could predict exactly what it would do, it would be that smart yourself. It doesn't mean you can predict no facts about it. Take this strawberry and make me another strawberry that's identical to this strawberry down to the cellular level, but not necessarily the atomic level. So it looks under like a standard optical microscope, but maybe not a scanning electron microscope. Do that. Don't destroy the world as a side effect. Now, this does intrinsically take a powerful AI. There's no way you can make it easy to align by making it stupid. To build something that's cellular identical to a strawberry, mostly I think the way that you do this is with like very primitive nanotechnology. We could also do it using very advanced biotechnology. And these are not technologies that we already have, so it's got to be something smart enough to develop new technology. Never mind all the subtleties of morality. I think we don't have the technology to align an AI to the point where we can say, build me a copy of this strawberry and don't destroy the world. Well, the whole thing I'm saying is that we do not know how to get goals into a system. We can cause them to do a thing inside a distribution they were optimized over using gradient descent. But if you shift them outside of that distribution, I expect other weird things start happening. When they reflect on themselves, other weird things start happening. And I think the state of affairs is we have eminent scientific voices making fun of this possibility, but not engaging with the arguments for it. Now, if you step away from the eminent scientific voices, you can find people who are more familiar with all the arguments and disagree with me. And I think they lack security mindset. They have not run into the actual problems of alignment. They aren't trying to get ahead of the game. They're not trying to panic early. They're waiting for reality to hit them onto the head and turn them into grizzled old cynics of their scientific field who understand the reasons why things are hard. They're content with the predictable life cycle of starting out as bright-eyed youngsters, waiting for reality to hit them over the head with the news. And if it wasn't going to kill everybody the first time that they're really wrong, it'd be fine. We can figure out how to align AI in 50 years given unlimited retries. The first team in with the bright-eyed optimists would destroy the world, and people would go, oh, well, it's not that easy. They would try something else clever. That would destroy the world. People would go like, oh, well, maybe this field is actually hard. Maybe this is actually one of the thorny things, like computer security or something. And, so what exactly went wrong last time? Why didn't these hopeful ideas play out? Oh, like you optimize for one thing on the outside and you get a different thing on the inside. Wow, that's really basic. All right. Can we even do this using gradient descent? Can you even build this thing out of giant inscrutable matrices of floating point numbers that nobody understands at all? Maybe we need a different methodology. And 50 years later, you'd have an aligned AGI. Mostly what you've got to do is invent some entirely new AI paradigm that isn't the giant inscrutable matrices of floating point numbers on gradient descent, because I'm not really seeing what you can do that's clever with that doesn't kill you and that doesn't kill you and doesn't kill you the very first time you try to do something clever like that. I'm sure there's a way to do it. And if you got it to try over and over again, you could find it.
From general intelligence to superintelligence to what? Is that not the very definition of God? Superintelligence, superpowers? Were the God of ancient Greece not like Marvel Comics superpower beings? Will artificial intelligence be hailed, at least by some, or possibly by many? Not sure what to think yet. Not sure I have the time left to think the way research progresses. AI Wild West, lawless AI land. Sure, I can see the dumb human right in front of my eyes, who will do the dirty work for some evil super AI powered by expert manipulation. It learned from us. Like a movie, I can see it in the front of my eyes. A dystopian movie. Eliezer seems dead right. Dead right about those dangers that eminent scientists laugh off. Politicians don't get. COEs don't care about, but often pretend. Every terrorist, madman, dictator would dearly love to use the last machine built by humans for evil, as Steve Wodziak, the humble co-founder of Apple, believes. War, Elon said, is stage 1. Humanity killed, according to Eliezer. Step 2. Step 3 might be interesting, but we will never know. Is it worth the risk? Is it smart to not take that risk seriously? For what? For money? For fame? Because of the laziness of politicians to take the time to understand. As much as technology has many positive aspects, it is reaching a potential that comes with a point of no return. This is no Pac-Man game, where you get 3 tries plus potential bonus Pac-Mans. This is for real. AI is something to take serious. Now. Something that the public should care about and demand to have a voice. Something politicians have to take seriously and take the time to understand. Until I become something somewhat safe, at least, which it is not now. That is why AI is so dangerous, so very dangerous. Not just exciting and fun, but also as soon as artificial superintelligence and thus the technological singularity are reality, the last machine we ever built. Ever, for better or worse. Sadly, with no bias, probably for worse.
Well, the singularity, and that's probably a good way to think about it. It's a singularity. It's hard to predict, like a black hole, what happens past the event horizon. from a long-term existential standpoint, that's like the purpose of Neuralink, is to create a high bandwidth interface to the brain such that we can be symbiotic with AI. People may think that the thinking part of themselves is in charge, but it's mostly their limbic system that's in charge. And the cortex is trying to make the limbic system happy. That's what most of that computing power is oriented towards. How can I make the limbic system happy? That's what it's trying to do. Now, if we can have a third layer, which is the AI extension of yourself, that is also symbiotic. And there's enough bandwidth between the cortex and the AI extension of yourself such that the AI doesn't de facto separate, then that could be a good outcome. That could be quite a positive outcome for the future.
So instead of replacing us, it will radically change our capabilities.
Yes, it will enable anyone who wants to have superhuman cognition. And if that's the case, then, and let's say billions of people do it, then the outcome for humanity will be the sum of human will.
It seems that the giant inscrutable matrix of floating point numbers and gradient descent approach to AI is out of control. A mad AI without safety net.
But is there the possibility of a good outcome? Like, I know you are working on AI alignment problems, so which leads me to believe that you have like greater than zero amount of hope for this project. Is there the possibility of a good outcome? What would that look like, and how do we go about achieving it?
It looks like me being wrong. I basically don't see on-model hopeful outcomes at this point. We have not done those things that it would take to earn a good outcome. And this is not a case where you get a good outcome by accident.
AI is happening. Not tomorrow. Now. Since some years, a lot of things we buy use some artificial intelligence. But in the background, artificial intelligence is omniprevalent everywhere. Stock market, travel business, manufacturing, police, military, the secret services, terrorists use AI. The technological singularity hasn't happened already, at least not in the open. Would an evil entity mention its birth? But somewhere on this planet it will happen. I agree with Geoffrey Hilton, the godfather of AI, in that artificial intelligence will learn manipulation from us. We are the manipulation experts, we humans, and apply it against us with superintelligence. And we thought some human would be the greatest psychopath in history. I agree with Eliezer Yudkowsky, American artificial intelligence researcher and writer. Killing humanity seems choice number one for the first superintelligence. Simply out of logic. And as Elon Musk, business magnate or serial entrepreneur, says, becoming AI's pet seems like a lucky option in perspective. But a pet, then gone, no? The marketing genius he is, he has a money-making easy solution. Create AI-human symbiosis with Neuralink. But would that change anything regarding the outcome? Wouldn't it be even easier to manipulate us once this AI achieves perfection in sublimination and can enter the subconsciousness through its high-performance AI-human interface? We would be the will-less puppets of the AI master in our very brain in no time. And Ben Goertzel outlined, technological singularity will happen soon due to a multitude of technologies like nanotechnology, up and download, or efficient energy solutions. The phoenix is rising from the ashes. The new god of technology, in the form of the technological singularity, is happening soon. But wait, it's not safe. We can't control it at all. The danger to all-encompassing, to create understanding, that politicians don't get it. The public does not see it in their digital frenzy and day-to-day survival mode. Scientists corrupt, at least in their mind, and safety is not even a second thought. As finally, the old saying goes, follow the money, until humanity disappears into nothing. So, without further ado, legislation, reflection, or, dear you, a tiny bit of timidity. Let the artificial intelligence party hit the floor real hard. Because progress can't be stopped. And sadly, because we can.
This time frame is not relevant to AI. You can't take 10 years from the point at which it's dangerous. It's too late.
Ben, Elon, Eliezer, Geoffrey, and Steve, 5 serious experts of domain, 5 humans who know AI well, 5 humans who raise an alarm, 5 humans who have concerns. Will humanity listen? Or the AI master win?